You have a book coming out today. You've already done this. How does this second book compare to the first?
Well, look, the first one was a true narrative. This book is the kind of book I kind of almost like a little more, where I could pick up and read chapter 3 before I read chapter 1, or I could read chapter 8 before I read chapter 4. It's collected essays about 35, 40 years in show business, taking you behind the scenes. And then also my sort of thoughts and stories of what it's like, for me anyway, to raise two teenage boys and be in a marriage of 23 years, sort of like a war correspondent.
Is it the marriage is the war correspondent part?
Oh, yeah. Raising the teenage boys.
Okay.
Trust me, you haven't been to my house on a Friday night with trying to keep two teenage boys in line. That's war correspondent.
That's
Hollywood is a piece of cake compared to that.
I really like this because it sounds like readers are going to get an insight into this Hollywood world that many of us don't know a lot about, and also be able to relate to you as a parent, as a spouse.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what the tone is. It's at one chapter will be taking you somewhere that most folks aren't going to get to go. For example, there's a chapter of what it was like when I was 19 and got invited to the Playboy Mansion. And I was like, wow, that needed to be preserved for history, for future generations.
For your teenage
On
sons.
the other hand, then there's, yeah, exactly. Then there's, chapters of what it was like when I was fired for coaching my kids' 6th grade basketball team because I was too tough as a coach. So it's like you get a little bit of like crazy Hollywood, and you get a little bit of like, yeah, I relate to that. I'm a dad, I get it.
And I hear there are so many great stories in this book. If you had to choose one, what is your favorite story?
I think the story of sending my oldest son, Matthew, off to college. Because again, it's something that a lot of families go through, and yet it feels so unique and personal to you. And I was just not prepared for the emotions that it brought up. And that's one of my favorite pieces of writing, because I think it's really a true indication of how I feel about my son and sort of what my focuses and priorities are in life. I think that's a good one. That, or my date with Madonna. They're really very similar when you think about it.
I'm going to work on trying to find the similarities. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and good luck. The book is called Love Life, and it is out this week.